the tree that wouldn't fall well now. It is good to see you again. Come on over and sit with me for a little while. Today I want to tell you about an old oak tree that stands not too far from my favorite fishing stream. I've known that tree for many years. I've watched fierce winds bend its branches until I was sure they would snap. I've seen heavy snow pile so high on its limbs that I wondered if it would survive until spring. Lightning even struck it once. It left a scar running down one side of its trunk. Yet every spring, there it was again, growing new leaves. Not because it had escaped hardship, but because its roots ran deep. You know, people aren't all that different from trees. Life has a way of sending storms our way. Some storms last a day. Others seem to last a season. There are days when disappointment knocks at your door. Days when grief feels too heavy to carry. Days when you wonder if God has forgotten you. If you've ever felt that way, you are not alone. Even faithful men and women in the Bible walk through dark valleys. But here is something the old oak taught me. The strength you see above the ground comes from what nobody can see below it. A tree doesn't survive because of its branches. It survives because of its roots. Our faith works the same way. When our roots are planted in God, we may bend under the weight of life's storms. But we don't have to break. The Bible tells us in Psalm 1 that the person who delights in the Lord is like a tree planted by streams of water, bearing fruit in season, with leaves that do not wither. Its leaves don't stay green because life is easy. They stay green because the roots know where to find water, friend. Maybe you are in a storm today. Maybe you are tired. Maybe your prayers feel unanswered. Maybe your heart carries a burden no one else can see. Trust Him, even when the wind is howling around you. The storm may not end today, but the God who holds the storm is holding you too. I've lived long enough to learn that every storm eventually gives way to calmer skies. Sometimes God calms the storm. Sometimes He calms His child while the storm is still raging. Either way, He never leaves us. Before I wander off to find my supper, let me leave you with this thought. Don't measure your faith by how hard the wind is blowing. Measure it by how firmly your roots are planted in the One who never changes. Thank you for spending a little time with this old bear today. Until we meet again, keep your heart close to God. Be kind to someone who needs it, and remember, the deepest roots grow in the hardest seasons. God bless you, my friend.